This is Brother Jabari from Reality Speaks, Soul Vivers Nation. We wanted to give a shout out to BABATV. Thank you for coming to Baltimore, which we call Tubman City. Peace.
It's BABATV. Every time fire. It's BABATV. Every time fire. It's BABATV. BABATV. Every time fire. Every time fire. It's BABATV. BABATV. Every time fire. Peace and blessings to the fam, every child, male, and woman. Reporting live from the land, coming with a plan. Black soldiers, unapologetically black with facts for ya. Bringing information you might want to stand closer. Exposure to knowledge, my other scholars like Sankofa. Being specific, futuristic, special visits to metaphysics. As Red Pill spits it, black fisted, many different minds to teach. Each one teaches to reach many minds in the streets, raising chakras in your dimension of consciousness. Power presentations are stimulating confidence. Cause in wartime, the enemy wants your mind. Wants you to be small time and your greatest of all time. The truth of triumph, we debunking lies. So subscribe to BABATV. Every time fight.
And now we are in front of Conscious Hits Barbershop and Natural Hair Salon. This is also a historical place in Baltimore City. As I stated previously, Conscious Hits Barbershop, and Sundiata also stated this previously, Conscious Hits Barbershop was established by an organization called Reality Speaks. So you met Sundiata, who is or was a co-founder of that organization, and Ndweli, and now you're meeting Brother Jabari. And I know you heard Brother Sundiata and Ndweli say a lot of positive things about our dear brother, Brother Jabari. But Brother Jabari, when you talk about consciousness in Baltimore City, you can't talk about consciousness or the foundation of consciousness in Baltimore City without mentioning our dear brother, Brother Jabari Nator. Okay, so Brother Jabari Nator, again, he's brought a lot of lecturers here to Baltimore City. Again, Brother Jabari was also instrumental in elevating my consciousness as a young girl. I remember, at the age of 16 and 17, attending lectures that were given by our dear brother, Brother Jabari Nator. And since I've come into consciousness and started studying and lecturing of my own, he's even brought me in to do some lectures. So we're getting ready to go over here to Conscious Hits Barbershop and holler at Brother Jabari and let him tell his story. Okay. So we're here right now with Brother Jabari Nator. As I stated earlier, we can't talk about consciousness in Baltimore City or the foundation of the consciousness movement in Baltimore City without mentioning our dear brother, Brother Jabari Nator. And I know you heard his name a lot. You heard Brother Ndweli speak of him. You heard of Sundiata speak of him. And all of them said that if it wasn't for Brother Jabari, they said Brother Jabari was the one who actually brought them into consciousness. And Sundiata was telling us how you were working at everyone's place and how initially he said you were involved in like the black church and he was I think a Jehovah's Witness or something. And he said you guys were battling ideologies, and one day you hit him in the head with a book by Dr. Ashwar Kwesi, and no one could get around you. So let's talk about your journey briefly, Brother Jabari. What were you doing prior to consciousness, and what brought you into consciousness?
Peace to the family. Well, you said prior to consciousness. Just coming out of high school. Actually, Brother Sundiata, we both were coming out of Patterson High School during that time, and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life at that time. I had went to try to take the military test. I failed that. Coming out, though, I actually was going to go through the police department and become a policeman. I was involved in that process and started doing that. Went through about maybe about 3 months before I was actually going to be in a cadet program. Mysteriously, in the midst of that, they canceled the whole cadet program, like right in the middle of all of us that were going through. They just canceled it. They lost funding, or something happened with that. This was a very crucial part of my life, because during that time, as Brother Sundiata has stated, he at that time had started going to the Jehovah's Witness temple, and my girlfriend at the time had started going to the she was actually involved in the Baptist church. So them two would come together and they would battle. I was kind of in the midst and didn't know a lot of stuff. My mother had always said stuff to me and taught me different things. She taught me a lot of stuff, but I didn't have a lot of book knowledge and Bible knowledge. So them two would come together and battle for me. You know what I mean? It was the battle for Jabari during that time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, one day he would say something good, and then one day she would say something good during that time. time. So, once the program got canceled with the police thing, I was in a crisis because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was getting out of school. I was confused. I didn't know where I want to go to the street. I didn't know what I really wanted to do. But when that happened, it actually put me in a space that was like, you know what? I'm going to find the true religion because they confusing me. I'm confused in between both of them. And right now, I don't know what I want to do with my life or whatever. So my girlfriend at the time, she had started going to copping. And so she had told me, like, look, if we're going to spend time, I'm going to be going to the library a lot. So, if you want to be with me, basically, you're going to have to go to the library with me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take this time out. I'm going to find out what the true religion is. I'm going to find out myself. So I just went in, and so during this time, they canceled the cadet program, and I started reading during that time. I went and, just started looking at some different books and stuff like that. So then during that time, I didn't have a job. So my sister said, all right, so we were waiting for them to try to reopen the cadet program. And my sister said, won't you watch our children while we actually, while you go through this process? So it was my two nieces. And I had to pick my nephews up from school. So I was waiting for the program to start back up. So while I was there, VHS tapes at the time, I would watch all these movies. They had all these black market movies that they had at the house. So I watched all these movies all the time. There was one movie that I would not watch because I was like, it's too long. I ain't even into that. And that was Malcolm X, Spike Lee. I never watched the movie. I said, and then it finally came down. I watched every movie on that shelf, and it was one last movie left, and it was Spike Lee, Malcolm X. And I was like, man, all right, I ain't got enough to watch, you know what I'm saying? So let me put this in. And I put that movie in, and honestly, that movie changed my life. Like, it changed my life. And I saw Malcolm, I was like, I want to be like him. Like, it was like, and I saw A Message in a Black Man. I was still going to the library. So then when I went to the library, I grabbed a copy of Message to the Black Man, off. And I didn't really understand. It had a lot of Asiatic stuff. And but I read it. I understood some stuff out of it. And then there was a teacher from school. I called him. I was like, look, I want to learn more. And he had showed us an Ashwa Kwesi tape when I was like in the 12th grade. I didn't really grasp it, but I remembered some of the stuff because he was always the black counselor. We would always joke him and everything. And so he said, well, look, I want you to check out, this Ashwa Kwesi tape. And so he gave me this Ashwa Kwesi tape again. Again, I was like, oh, this is the guy from school. And I looked at the Ashwa Kwesi tape, which actually further changed my life. Ashwa Kwesi started talking about Dr. Ben, Dr. Ben, Dr. Ben, Dr. Ben, Dr. Ben. So then I went, I was like, who is Dr. Ben? So when I went to the bookstore, they let me, to get a book by Dr. Ben. So I got the Dr. Ben book. And then from there, we just, I started reading that, Ashwa Kwesi, and all of a sudden, like, I'm a person that was in school. I didn't read a lot at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't comprehend all of the stuff, but all of a sudden I'm like, yo, I loved. It's like took my whole life by storm. And then during that process, they reopened the cadet program during that time. And between KRS-One coming out with Black Cop, between me listening to Malcolm X and all of the reading that I had started to do, it was like, nah, I can't. I don't want to do the police thing now. No, no. I need to pursue this right here. So that's, basically like, how I started my journey. And then from there, after I would watch my children, my nieces for a little while, I started in a study group during the time. And a girl worked at Everyone's Place at the time. She was a part of the study group. And I put out, well, look, anybody know of any jobs, anything, And so she called me one day, was like, do you want to work at Everyone's Place? And I was like, yeah. It was the Mecca, So it was like, all right. So I went to Everyone's Place, and that's where basically I got my start. That's where I started to meet people. That's where I got my name Jabari at, and different things of that nature. So that's pretty much been my journey. And from there, started an organization from there, and, we've been going for 23 years now. 23 years, and we've been bringing, started off, we bring Ashwa Kwesi, Dr. Barshangos. Those are some of my main teachers that. Of course. Yeah, yep. We got those, Some on YouTube right now, classics, European holidays and stuff like, all reality speak productions and all. So,
So Jabari, so a lot of the stuff, so bringing lectures and doing lectures and consciousness, this is nothing new, right? This
no.
That they're saying, like you said, this has been going on for a couple of decades.
Yeah, it's been going for a while.
You've been bringing lecturers to town, even Dr. Umar Johnson. You brought Dr. Umar Johnson.
We brought Umar Johnson to town when it was like 50, 60 people coming out. People didn't even know who Umar Johnson was, and people would take, Red Pill would tell a story that he came to Baltimore, saw Umar Johnson, took tape back to SANETER, and then, that's how SANETER, and a lot of people from New York started to learn about Umar Johnson, We brought Umar Johnson way back in the day.
And in the ancestors. You had Dick Gregory.
We had Dick Gregory once, twice, or maybe 3 times per year that we would bring him in. He was always our big go-to. You know what I mean? Whatever I needed, some things happening. You know what I mean? We need to raise funds. You know what I mean? Call Barber, and you know what I mean? Hey, set it up, whenever, or something was going on. And throughout the community, called Dick Gregory. I mean, he was always there.
And Frances Cress Welsing, you guys brought her in.
Frances Cress Welsing was a blessing. She saved my business like a couple times. I mean, we were able to do very well with bringing her to town, and people would come out, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Our headquarters used to be down at Sojourner Douglas College. Is now closed down now, but that's where the majority of our lectures were, at Sojourner Douglas College. But we brought Sister Soldier, Khalid Abdul Muhammad. You know what I mean?
Came in town one time.
Yeah, he came. We were working with the thing. We didn't sponsor him, but we were working with. We do a lot of work with the Nation of Islam. So you know what I mean. So we never brought him per se. Reality speaks, but we work with the Nation of Islam and doing some things.
Tell them about your upcoming lecture. I know you have Red Pill and Professor Griff coming up. Give them the information on that.
Yeah, we had. So actually, on Saturday we have Brother Kidi Owadu coming to town. He's going to talk about his new information, Futurenomics, and he also has a new book on health that he actually has. And we have, after that, Brother Professor James Smalls coming to town. That's going to be Friday, August the 10th here in town. And then in Capitol Heights, Maryland, we're going to have him over on Saturday. He'll be in Capitol Heights, Maryland at Everlasting Life Vegan Restaurant. And then we also have the Red Pill and Professor Griff. They'll be here August the 18th and then 19th in Capitol Heights. So what we've been doing is teamed up with the Vegan Restaurant over in Capitol Heights. So when we do something in Baltimore, then we've been going out to Capitol Heights the next day. Over the next day. Real nice, beautiful spot over there with Brother Baruch over there. So that's a real nice spot. Yeah, so that's what we got going on.
We gotta go. Oh, hold up. I gotta ask you the same question I asked Cindy. So how did you meet Brother Jabari? When did you meet Dr. Bailey, also known, you met Deanna actually?
Right. I met you here in the shop. Again, so we here right now, where we actually sitting. Okay, well, let me show. Yeah, well, here, if you just take a shot, this is our barbering classes where we provide classes. We have my daughter here, Kamaria. She's one of my youngest students. She's 12 years old, been cutting hair for a while. But we teach them as young as we got 11 years old is what we started with. 11 up to about 54 is my oldest student that we have. So we actually do barbering classes here at Conscious Heads. But we can go upstairs.
How can people reach you for barbering classes?
Yeah, they can reach me just 410-303-4120. You can reach me at that number. We also will be having online classes that we setting up before the end of the year. Before the end at the end is out, we'll have online.
So you met me at the barbershop.
I met you here at the barbershop. I don't know, 15 years ago. It must have been around the time that Umar Johnson, we was bringing up Umar Johnson, because I can remember you saying, "Oh yeah, Dr. Umar Johnson." I heard, I heard him speak before, whatever. I think you said you were saying you was gonna come out. Did you come out to one of those lectures?
I think I came out.
Oh, okay.
I heard about it, and I remember the shop. My father introduced me to you at the shop. So we met here. And then you guys had, this was a bookstore downstairs.
Yeah, so this was a bookstore.
I would get literature from your bookstore, and I attended a couple of the lectures that when you brought Anthony T. Browder down.
Right. On the day is his birthday, by the way.
Anthony T. Browder?
67, yeah. Looking good, yeah. 60, yeah.
I'll put that up on Facebook. Let's go upstairs and check out.
Yeah.
Tell them about the upcoming event at, I know Red Pill and Professor Griff are coming. What day, what time, how can they get tickets?
Yeah, they get, you can give me a call, 410-303-4120. Again, that's the 18th and 19th of August coming up.
It's coming up fast.
Yeah, coming up real fast, yeah. And James Smalls, again, that will be August the 10th and 11th. Here, the 10th in Baltimore and 11th in Capitol Heights.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, any last words for them?
I'm just glad y'all came through here, and the logo for Reality Speaks, what we've been doing for 23 years, is information plus Black power breaks the chains. So we have it on the flyers. I'll send you a copy of it.